Electrons are negatively charged particles that orbit the nucleus of an atom. So here we have a simplified version of the atom. In the centre, we have the nucleus, and then surrounding that we have orbiting electrons. An electron has a negative charge which is equal and opposite to the protons, so that is minus 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19 coulombs. So how big are electrons compared to the particles in the nucleus? Well, electrons are very small compared to protons and neutrons. An electron is actually 1,000th the mass of protons or neutrons, and this is why most of the mass of the atom is carried in the nucleus. In an exam, the masses and charges of electrons, protons and neutrons will be given if they're required. So how do electrons use the space in the nucleus? Well, electrons will travel in set orbits called shells. We can define orbits at set distances from the atom, and a certain number of electrons can occupy each orbit. Which orbit an electron occupies depends on how much energy the electron has. So these orbits are the shells of the atom, and there's about 10 to the minus 10 meters between the nucleus and the first shell, but you don't need to remember this distance for your exam. The distance between each successive shell is not constant, but you don't need to know each distance or why this is. So is it possible for an electron to change which shell it's in? Well, electrons can move between shells by absorbing or emitting electromagnetic radiation. So remember that electromagnetic radiation is things like visible light and infrared, for example. They're basically ways of transporting energy. So electrons can move up a shell by gaining more energy from radiation. Remember that EM is electromagnetic. So the energy gained by the electron must be exactly the amount needed to bridge the gap between the energy levels in order for it to move up a shell. Electrons can also drop down a shell by releasing excess energy as radiation, and this happens when there's room in a lower shell.
Thanks for watching. If you want to take your GCSE revision to the next level, head over to launchpadlearning.com and check out our smart learning platform that's been designed to get you top results in your exams. We cover your whole specification and make revision fun with interactive quizzes, easy to follow videos and more. You'll be kept motivated by your own AI tutor who's here to support you every step of the way. To check it out for yourself, click here. Or click here to keep watching a selection of the videos from our full GCSE Physics course. See you there!